meat in the freezer.
So happy I'm on lunch.
It's so stupid. I think it might work.
Chaos, like every hunting season.
Seems like it's not going anywhere, but it also seems like it could go somewhere.
He lost his paper bag, I swear.
I will not. I'm actually pretty good directionally.
Got your name right. I didn't spell with an AW.
I've been called worse by people that say they love me.
Oh, well, we could talk about all sorts of stuff.
Oh.
This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks. That's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag. You hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
Shaun Ridder in the studio.
What's up?
You got a voice for this, dude.
I just am a person.
Are you still like a recognized voice in places? Do people come up to you, or what's the deal?
No, I don't think so. And I never put myself in those places. I've literally become like the biggest homebody. Like if I'm not in the out in nature, I'm at home. Like I am just not a person that's
doing that
out in places. Like a lot of times people are like, "Oh, you want to go to this concert, see this show?" And I was like, "No, I don't." Like, are you sure? Like, no, I've been to so many of those and done so much of this, and not something I don't like people. Like, I love you, whatever. But like, I just kind of want to be myself.
When you know the sausage is made too, you're kind of like, no, I don't.
That's kind of it too, and that's where I don't ever want to speak negatively about anything and ruin anything for anyone else.
Yeah, that's fair.
I leave that. You know, it's like when people always bring up the they say, don't meet your idol or don't meet the person you like the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
People always say, oh, who watched so-and-so? I won't say a word. Because I'll never speak negatively about someone because I don't want to taint someone else's experience. Plus, it's just not good to talk negative about people just in general because, well, you're not them.
For my birthday, my wife got me tickets, and I didn't know this in the middle of the day. My wife got us tickets to go see Nate Bargatze. I've never seen him.
Okay.
Seen his stuff a while back. I don't watch comedy skits. I don't know. Like he seems like approachable, funny humor, right? For family stuff.
Very family humor. Yeah. It's not my style, but yeah.
Yeah. His deliveries, like I think once you get it kind of thing. But anyway, so we're talking about comedians at lunch with my boss for my birthday. And he's like, Nate Bargatze, like not really a fan, you know? and so he's like, I wouldn't see him in live. I understand. And then my wife's like, guess what I got you? I was like, oh my God, wait till I tell my boss, Ryan, he's going to I'm gonna give him shit because he said he doesn't like Nate Bargatze. So anyway,
and I pretty much said the same thing.
Don't ruin, it was so funny. He's like, I'm going to taint that for me, Ryan. Thanks a lot.
No, go into it open. It's your thing. And that's what I say. Everyone has their own thing. Yeah. You know, everyone has their own beliefs, their own things, their own styles. That's what makes us all freaking awesome and unique and fun. You're wearing a black hoodie. I'm wearing flannel. Like we're different. And that's what's awesome.
This is why I like you, dude. So let's just back up a minute because I know we have a lot of new folks coming into the show at any given point in time, even folks that have been listening for a while. Shaun Ridder, you have our, I don't know where it stands because I don't think we ever formally closed up shop or whatever. Didn't. It's pretty open-ended because we're very much similar people like Come As You Are.
Yeah.
But you're the host of the Camp Okayest on the network. And so you were kind of like this MC of the network, bringing all the other hosts in and out to get all these different happenings and so forth.
Yeah, we started. It all had great intentions. We got going, and then we all will figure out at some point in life. Life has a way of just absolutely putting the brakes on you. Yeah, whether you are asking for it or not, life will find a way to put the brakes on you.
Which is so. Talk about that. Do you think you were doing too much? Because you did do and you do a lot. You're a very high functioning human. I feel like we're
very similar in a lot of ways, I feel. And that's
which is why we probably click.
I thought to myself as I was coming out here too and jumping on, I was like, I wonder who's actually going to talk more. Who will actually get a word in, because we are very similar in that too. But I don't know. I guess I don't want to take over your show and tell the whole story. Do you want me to just tell the whole
I kind of do, because we have the wherewithal for it's a story that I think people should hear. Not it's about you, yes, but also they can learn from it.
Yeah. You mentioned Camp Okayest. I did do one episode of it talking about this exact incident, this exact thing. And now you're like, when are you talking? What's happening? So full on backstory.
What year is it? 2024
would have been. Yeah. End of 2024. I come from media background, working in media for years and years and years and doing stuff. I still do things, radio shows, podcasts, all that. I've done it. And then meeting you, in the Okayest crew and loving Greg and Matt and everybody and, just naturally getting along. And I'd had an old show and that had went away, which I knew was going to eventually because, people own properties and whatnot, which is fine. And I want to start Camp Okayest to kind of tie everything together because this whole Okayest hunter to the Okayest cook to was Okayest shooter to,
I can't remember them all you do.
We're literally Okayest gum underneath the table. Like we've got them all here. We're all just pretty okay. But I kind of want to be that like central figure and cohesively put it together and be able to have all of you guys on to then cross promote all the things that you're doing because I don't really care about me much. I'd rather talk and share the your things and what you guys have going on and providing just another place for you guys to promote everything while I'm just still doing my own thing and having fun because I enjoy doing this. On top of starting that up and getting into that, I also was competitively fishing kayak tournaments. I was also running all of my own content and stuff with the YouTube channel, so I'm going to monetize there and helping for sponsors and creating for other companies. Just, you're right. There was a lot going on. And, it was September, I want to say 8th, 9th, somewhere right around there, 2024. I was fishing and we did a combined, the state kayak, bass, whatever, everything in Wisconsin had our state championship that coincided with a national tournament that travels around that Drew Gregory, who's probably one of the most famous kayak fishermen. Drew's a great dude. Love Drew. Jake, who works with him. They've got this really awesome kayak trail, the Kayak Adventure Series, which actually, if you're in the Midwest, they're having...
started that year.
That was the first year. Yep. Yeah. And that was a part, like I got talked in and it was like with them. I'm like, I'll definitely, I'll come. I'm going to fish that one, and happened it was with state. So I'm like, I'll fish state and that together. Well, the format of that one was kind of fun for me because you got an afternoon session on Friday and then like the whole day Saturday was the tournament. So you got like a little quick thing in Friday. So I put in, and by the way, this was on the Wisconsin River is where this tournament was. Okay. So like fast moving waters, river. I grew up in Green Bay. I fished the Fox River and all that. Like you think I'd love them. I'm not a river rat. I absolutely hate river tournaments, although I still love the Mississippi River. Don't ask. But so when I have fast moving current, it can be tough and everything. And I'm having all these battery like issues where my motor's not working.
What batteries are you running? Do you know?
At the time I was running, I don't even remember what I was running for batteries. I've run a Motor Guide XI3 trolling motor because at the time that was the best. And, I didn't want to spend thousands of dollars on a Minn Kota. Sorry, love Minn Kota and all that. But, unless they're giving it to me or giving me a good deal, I'm going to run what I can afford, as we all do. We buy what we can and use what we can afford. But anyway, I'm going really, really long on this. You're going to find out this is what I do.
This is so it's a lot of context, which is good.
Get done on Friday from having all these issues. Like I actually got off the water like 20 minutes early. Like I'm pulling the plug and I'm going to figure out what's going on. And I still couldn't figure out. It was like something was shorting somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, okay, screw this. I am just going to go at day number 2 and I'm going to put in Lake Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and tuck out of wind and I'm going to paddle like old school, you see my tournament setup. It's a mini bass boat. Yeah. So now I'm taking it back. Like I'm no motors. And I got fishing in the morning. I was doing decent. I had 3 decent fish. I lost another really good one and the wind started picking up and it got to be hard to control. And I'm like, I got plenty of time in kayak fishing. I know we're a hunting podcast, but
we'll get to the hunt stuff.
Yeah. Your truck is your bass boat essentially. So you want to move large areas, large distance. You don't like try and drive on the lake, going 5-6 miles an hour. No, you pull out of the water, you trailer up or put it in the bed of your truck as I did, and you drive to wherever and re-put in, you relaunch. So that's what I was going to do. I'm going to move to get out of the wind, finish out my bag. I mean, I honestly thought what I had and what was happening, I would have finished top 15. Respectable. I'm happy with that. I literally play the losingest sport in the world. I get that. And that's why I love it. But in the process of backing my truck down the ramp to put the boat in the back, I, stop, pull the boat up into the back, and I put like a little tie-on strap on the back to hold the boat in. And then I'll pull up and then I like fully fashion everything down tight so I can drive away. Well, as I start pulling up the ramp, I hear a really strange, weird noise that I'm like, what in the, so I put on the brakes and I kind of go to look out my window. And I'm like, I don't see anything. Just to be careful, I'm going to like back down and I'm going to recheck everything before I pull out. So I put it in reverse and I go to start backing down a little more. And I hear like an even weirder noise. I'm like, okay, this isn't right. and I go to lean out. Well, the number one mistake I made here, and this is where everyone can learn this lesson, because and I tell you what I did, anyone that's ever been around boats and boat ramps, I guarantee has done exactly what I did. So as I was going to pull out, I didn't close my door all the way because I'm just pulling up to get out of the ramp. Then I'm going to jump out and tie everything down anyway.
I see people doing all
Everyone does it all the time. So as I back up, well, and that's also when you're driving a big F-150 and you're trying to look behind you at a little kayak, you got to kind of lean out a little bit. So as I went to lean out, I set my foot down on my running board and my foot slipped off the running board, which threw me out of my truck. Think about what I just said. Also, if you play it back, that's still in reverse.
Yeah.
So the truck starts backing down the ramp. I'm trying to hang on to it. And as I do that, my body swings underneath the truck. The truck runs over my entire right leg. Like there was marks that ran. So it ran over my ankle, tore like an actual hole in my ankle.
So much adrenaline in that moment.
Marks that you could see, like the tire marks up like my calf here.
Yeah.
It was super weird. So like that happens, which is just the weirdest. It's the weirdest fucking experience in the world.
How slow does
like it is like
in your mind? Like
that's just it. Like I can't. It feels like it was a lifetime, but I know it was like that.
Yeah.
And so I remember like falling down, and as I look back, I watch my truck back in, and I see like the headlights go down. And this is what's really funny too. So there must be some sort of glitch or the way the electricity or electronics work in the F-150. The windshield wipers started going. I didn't turn them on. It doesn't have auto wipers, but something must have. So all I see is a windshield wiper.
Like
one of them waving.
Yeah,
waving goodbye. Remember, the boat's already in the back of the truck.
Okay.
That strap luckily wasn't super tight, so the boat floated above.
Okay.
So I've got a truck sitting. Like I've got pictures of it. You will literally see. It looks like the water is like this weird, like light green square. That's the roof of a white F-150 with the truck floating behind it. So I'm seeing this. I take it all in. I'm like, shit, what am I going to do?
You're like, do I swim underwater and get in the driver's seat? Like, what? I'm like trying to comprehend how you would.
Here's what I do. I run down the dock at this ramp, and I can see like two boats way off in the distance. I mean, they were probably miles away, but dummy me, I'm like, well, I got to get help. I do something. Because as I'm coming in the water, I'm doing this, patting myself. I'm like, oh shit, I don't have my phone. I don't have my keys. Where are my keys? You can figure that one out for yourself. Dude. But as I'm standing there and I kind of like jumping, and I'm like, I'm still okay. This is wild. Wait, my phone is still in my boat. If I can get to my boat, I can at least call someone. So hit my life vest, inflate it, jumped in, swam out to my boat, climbed up in it.
It's cold. It's September.
Exactly. It's cold. Climb up, into the kayak.
Your foot has been run over.
Mm-hmm. Get my phone, put it to my teeth, and I'm like swimming, keep my phone above the water. And I get to the driver's door of the truck. So naturally, what do?
There's current too, by the way.
Yeah, you got to be like, okay, well, I got to get in this thing and just try, right? So I kind of get in and I'm trying to hit the gas pedal. It's never going anywhere. It's like dummy, but you still, I think in the moment felt like you had to try something.
That's what I was saying. I feel like I would have been like trying somehow.
So
because you're so illogical in that moment because you can't barely process probably what had just happened.
Yeah, I mean, I figured nothing would happen, but I'm swimming past it, so I'm like, well, at least I got to try something, right? So obviously it doesn't work. I swim back up onto shore.
Because what if you get it out? Because you're like, well, I jumped in the water. I'm already wet. I'm right here. I mean, what if it was as easy as I drove my truck out? Like,
I know.
And if you don't try, you would be like, well, maybe it could have been simple to solve. Like that's kind of a logical place to arrive, I think.
Right? So, okay, I'm now down a truck. At least my boat's floating above. I'm alive. I've got my phone. Somehow my cooler, like my Yeti cooler, that floated out of the truck and that's all floated up along shore. I thought about having a beer in that moment out of the cooler. However, I realized that would be a poor decision.
The optics wouldn't look as good, but it'd feel nice.
It was like, I feel like I needed after this, but also like I knew like something's not right. So naturally I call my wife right away.
Yeah.
I didn't call my wife. I did call 911. Because I wanted to get a phone dispatch to let them know what had happened. And I remember talking to the person there, which is so strange that they ever let me off. Like usually 911 will not let you off the line until someone shows up. My wife's like a nurse, medical professional, all this stuff. And I was telling her, I wanted to contact her. And she actually let me off the phone to call my wife. So I call my wife and she like, of course, goes into panic. Like she's immediately picturing like, I'm going to, like, how are you walking? Exactly. What are you doing?
Right.
And
did you say, don't freak out, but
right. Pretty much.
Like,
and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm walking around. She's like, I think you should sit. I'm like, no, like I can walk. So I'm going to keep walking. I don't want to sit. She's like, you need to sit. So I finally sit and I'm on the phone with her talking real quickly, and she's gathering up and going to come pick me up and figure it out. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll let you know what hospital I end up or if I'm here or what I'm doing as the sheriff's department comes walking up. And I'm like, all right, well, sheriff's here. I'll let you go because I got to deal with this. And the whole time I'm thinking, as this guy's walking up, he's got to be running through his mind. We're going to play a game here. Is it dumb, drunk, or on drugs? Because there's only one of those three options that someone puts their truck in the
like
drink.
Lemony Snicket, a series of unfortunate events.
And that's just it.
Like you put your foot in, like it just happened quick.
And, everyone is always like, oh, how do you feel about that or whatever? And it's, what can you do? Like bad things happen.
Like now it's done.
Yeah, like bad things happen to people every day.
Mm-hmm.
My number was just up.
Yep.
Like that was just it. Like there's nothing, it's one of those. So now it happened. All right. So I explained to the sheriff what's going on. He's like, well, ambulance is coming. They showed up and, they were just as shocked that like, I'm fine.
Yep.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I am actually getting a little cold. So they were able to use you're freezing and shivering because I'm shivering. And I told them like, I don't know if this is me being cold because I'm wet or this is the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know it's so like, I think maybe because I talked through it, like I seemed like they knew that I knew what was going on, that I don't know, maybe I got away with more than just they pick you up, throw you in the paddy wagon and we're taking you to the hospital. But I remember sitting in there and they were like, well, do you want to go? Do you not? And my wife's on the phone. She's like, just listen to the professionals. And I was like, that's why I'm talking to you. She's like, just listen to the real people you're with. So I ended up going to the hospital and they did all the tests and took x-rays and it's still baffling. I broke nothing.
Wow.
I walked away from it. At the end of the day, I lost the truck and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Computer,
and truck, phone.
Oh yeah, phone is fine. So yeah, I lost a MacBook and I lost the truck and that's it. But really the truck I didn't lose because, when you have insurance and all these other things, which by the way, then I took all of that payout and money and everything and changed around and I went and bought my wife a truck. And I took her old, small SUV.
Nice.
Because, it was her turn and everything she'd been through with me,
Yeah, that's good.
She and, she'd always wanted, another truck. So yeah, that's for her. And I'm not like, yay, woo, great man. But, sometimes you got to take care of others too.
Yeah,
and
take the opportunity and pay.
Yeah, that whole situation was so sucky. But now we're a year and a half later, it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my entire life.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to maybe get at. Because you also whitetail hunt and you're a good hunter. Like you think about it the right way, you go about it the right way. Right way is subjective.
Going about it the right way and knowing and being successful are two very different things, by the way.
You take it seriously in such a way that when you're in it, you're in it.
Yes.
And you don't take yourself so seriously that you're like, whatever.
No, like here now we'll get to the hunting on that, but we'll come back to this real quick. I forget who I was talking to with, but it was the one, like there was a specific Sunday this fall that you knew that was the rut day. That was the day that
might have been the day I got my buck.
I think it was the day you got your buck because that was the day
like the second week of November or something.
On. Yes.
It was great.
Because I remember watching my trail cameras and it was feeling like it was going to be. And I went out on Friday and I was from sun up, sundown, didn't see a damn thing. I didn't even see a squirrel. And you're like, this is just too weird. Like something's setting up where it's going to pop and it's going to go. And I had nothing at camera Saturday. And then Sunday morning, I told myself, I'm going to set my alarm and get up, check and see if anything popped on the cameras overnight. I know they're up there moving. Okay, this is what's going to happen. Because I'd only seen bucks before that, not any does for the longest time. And I'm like, I got to see some does on camera before I can even think about.
Sure, because that means you're moving around.
Right.
Yeah.
I had 6 different does in that overnight. I was in the woods.
You're like, boom, it's on.
And it was so freaking windy and miserable that day. I remember at one point, the wind was just cranking from behind me and I, in the saddle, kind of just side saddled up against the tree and was like, I'm just kind of huddling and warming, whatever. I can see here. There's literally only one spot that I can't see behind me. Fun fact, one of my trail cameras was a little ways down from me and could see that spot.
Okay.
Really great when you get home and you go and check back your cameras. And in that exact same time that you were sitting there hunched over, an 8-pointer just slowly walked right through behind you.
When it's windy, you didn't hear him.
No, you're not going to hear that.
Yeah.
Earlier that exact same morning, because I do the dress in layers. I go out basically in a long sleeve t-shirt and then slowly put on as I get there. I'm up in the tree and I had a thinner coat on. I'm like, okay, well, before it gets colder and windier, I should put the puffy.
It's too hard to get.
Exactly. Take it off, put the puffy on, put everything back on. So I take it off. I put the puffy on and my other jacket's sitting there leaning on a branch and my bow is hanging on the bow hanger. And I look over and there's just a beautiful, like perfect 8-pointer standing at me broadside 15 yards.
God, dude.
And it's like, what do you do?
Nothing.
Nothing. I just sat there and I just looked at it and I was
got
like,
me, buddy.
Yeah. I was like, this is really freaking cool. Like, tip the cat to him. It was awesome. And that's, I guess, where you say, like, being in it for like right reasons. I don't have to force things or try and kill something.
No, and you could get all mad and bent out of shape.
Yeah,
but
no.
then, like, what's the point of
that?
I
was like, no, I'm out here to just like enjoy this and be a part of something bigger.
Yeah, right.
And I think that, to go back to my other story, is something that I really took in. Like when you get injured like that, it was, I mean, obviously you're not walking around. They wanted me off my feet for a week and resting and all this, and it kind of forces you to sit down and stop. And that's something I wasn't capable of doing before, because it was go, 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 go. It was really just kind of trying to build something. I think there was pressure behind that because my media life had ended, which I was planning for it to end just maybe a year later. Like I was building towards that. And when things changed before I thought, then I think I was trying too hard. I was trying to make things happen too hard, and forcing myself and pushing myself and saying yes to everything. And I think that it didn't help, because I lost track of some things, and it was, conversations in that downtime, like with my wife and my family, of realizing like me being away like that and doing all those things and overextending myself was like affecting my entire family.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it, you don't realize it.
No, you wouldn't. I think often you see enough of these quotes that take place on the internet over time, and they start to like resurface in certain ways or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know the quote. And I think about the quote because I had already been envisioning things in this way. And then I see the quote and it kind of affirms, like, okay, well, I'm probably not the only person that's doing this, which is true for everything. But I tend to think, like, if I'm 80 years old and I'm looking back in this moment right now, I get to be 80-year-old me is standing here watching me participate in this moment. Is 80-year-old me going to want to bat me upside the head? Like, you fucking dumbass. This is the important shit. Knock that stuff off. That doesn't materialize. This is what's important. And I have that kind of on repeat throughout the days. And there's certain times when I know that 80-year-old me is going to bat me upside the head. And there's other times I know he's going to be smiling at me because I like took the time to invest in the present moment. And that's hard for folks in general, in the life we live in, the over digitized life that we live in, the American way of the American dream, and working so hard, grinding, side hustle, go, go, go.
Guess what? It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
It's all bullshit.
So it's like I'm doing it, but I'm also trying to.
I've done it, and I'm still doing it, and I work at more. It's all bullshit to some extent,
It may have been Gary Vaynerchuk, and it's wild to me that I've been following that dude since 2014. I kind of stopped like 4 or 5 years ago.
Gary's great. I really think he's amazing, but I can see why you stopped, because eventually it's all kind of the same thing.
Stuff, but how much has stuck with me that I still like talk about, use, think about. And one of the things was something like, what was I going to say? It was, I lost the thought. It was something about, I don't know, I'll have to come back to it. But my brain just not getting there.
Dude, I get that sometimes.
I wish I could. But nonetheless, it was something he had said that like really struck a chord with me that I continued to try to like do all the time. That's what it was. I remembered. Oh my God, my brain's working. This is great.
Hey,
it was like the dad that like works. And then when he sees his kids, he's not actually with his kids because he's on his phone, reading the paper, watching sports. Like, get away. No. Later. Not now. Versus you could work really hard, and then the time you do have, use that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like doing a lightsaber sword fight with my kids yesterday. And it was just great. It wasn't like some big moment. It wasn't a trip. It wasn't a vacation. It wasn't like this dedicated time. And then I think Jerry Seinfeld said this. I think it was Jerry Seinfeld. And it was in the Daily Dad book by Ryan Holiday, which is a book about stoicism applied to fatherhood. So every day is a passage and a thought.
I'm seeing more. I don't know how weird or what rabbit hole you want to take this down, but I could go down some really interesting rabbit holes with you that I think we align in a lot of ways.
He said, give me the garbage time. And I blurted out because I didn't want to forget. He's like, if I'm stuck in traffic with my kid taking him to school or daycare or whatever, like most people would look at that as not the time I'm spending with my kid, but you are with them. There's a proximity there and they're talking to you. You could just easily ignore them, put your podcast on.
Yeah.
You could play the Disney tunes or whatever the hell it is.
We still
And,
talk
like, you
about the
talk
Disney
about 'em.
tunes. Yes.
So I take my little guy to daycare 2 days a week, something like that. And that drive time's 10 minutes, maybe 15. It's good time for us.
Mhm.
I have him all to myself. He's got me all to himself. Like, why wouldn't I just use that garbage time? So am I over-indexing in some ways? I'm defending myself here for no reason at all. And it's not even that you're coming at me that way. I'm just processing the thought. And
No,
real
but
time
that's
is
great that
just a flow of consciousness.
See,
but I'm like,
that's another connection.
that's what that for folks listening. Eric, how do you do it all? First of all, my leisure, I love to create.
Mhm.
Period. I like to build. I like to create. So when someone else might have a hobby of like tinkering on cars or
Again, we're all different. We all
something,
have our own thing.
I literally just love to do this shit.
Mhm.
Now, every once in a blue moon, I'll binge watch some show.
I also love to do that.
But then I'm back to doing this stuff. So this is my leisure. So when the kids go to bed, I start to craft things in the digital realm because I like it. And the output happens to be that I also like my intersection is hunting, outdoors, business, family, dad, create. Like those all come together for me. So
see, that's where you've nailed it, and you've found the secret sauce, and you've found the thing that everyone is after and everyone wants. But it'll come to you when you least expect it. Because I think the thing for people to always remember, that was in that time off. So injured, talking to the wife, blah blah blah. I didn't hunt that whole fall. I took that entire. I was like, obviously it hurt. Like I'm not going out. I didn't ice fish. I took the entire season off. I did not fish a single tournament. I rarely even went out and fished.
How did your identity feel in all of that?
See, and that's just it. That's weird because I felt like for so long, so much of my identity was tied into that, into being someone, to being something else. And it felt so good to not,
it.
Yeah, and to not have to do anything, to not care, to just live your life, live in the moment, enjoy that garbage time. I mean, literally, I built this huge backyard oasis. Like our yard feels like you're in Mexico. Like it's like, so I don't have to leave somewhere to escape or to enjoy time with family and friends. I can go to this cool tropical place that's right in my backyard. Like I've made that place for myself because that's what I wanted. You know what I mean? Working with what I have.
You had the time and you could do it.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of it all came down to like, it's going to sound like super woo-woo, but deal with it to some extent. That whole thing really put me on an amazing spiritual journey. Because
I'm on one right now. So
when you go through anything, you have to relook at yourself and look at who you really want to be.
I mean, it was basically a near-death experience. Like, it was pretty Western. It could have got more Western.
No, I mean, honestly, and that's what I kept saying to everyone afterwards. I was like, of the, I keep having the scene going through my, because I'm kind of a Marvel comic nerd too, in Infinity War when Doctor Strange is there and he's trying to go through all the different scenarios of what could happen, of how, will they ever win? Head spinning everywhere. The 14 million, I got the one. Like, that's all I kept thinking was Doctor Strange doing the one. I got the one that I walked away from it. Any other change in anything, we might not be having this conversation. I know it sounds like super dramatic to say it that way, but it's the truth. And you have to look at things that way. And, it's just everything happening with that, with forcing myself, with everything in and around the world, finally having that silence and stepping away was awesome. And it allowed me to look at me and who I am and who I want to be. And I've always had this connection to nature and outside and all these things. And I never really thought I knew why, but lately I've, over the last 6 months, so really been leaning super hard into that and trying to figure out where that's from. And that's where, again, a lot of the spiritual look and who I am. And it's really interesting if you look into other religions too and other practices and the interesting things you'll find. And again, that's what's really cool. We're all different.
Yeah, right. No, we are.
But also very similar. We're all different, but very similar. And it's kind of cool.
I spend an odd amount of time trying to study human nature. And there's not a lot of places to get that from, I don't think. Like, go find a scholarly article on human nature or go find a book on it. There's a couple. And
here's another interesting thing. Like, as much as we can feel as crappy as all the things that are happening in the world today and around us and we have to live through, it was even crappier at one point in time. And people were actually even crappier to each other.
People used to just shit in the streets. Well,
no, but I mean, I want to take it back to we're going to go to the pros edit days.
There used to not be plumbing. Okay.
Right. the Vikings, right? Everyone glamorizes the Vikings TV show and all this and that, you know.
Yeah,
and
pretty dirty.
Yeah, they basically went around pillaging villages, killing the men, and just taking the women and stealing the things and go like and enslaving people. And no one wants to talk about that. That's not a thing. It's all about Vikings and the hairdos and the Bindrunes. And it's like there's more to it. You really got to look deep into it and go, "Ooh, there's stuff to be learned. There's stuff to be learned, from all of that about how to apply it to current life."
But the nature thing is interesting too. Like I grew up in such a way where I don't know why I was drawn to it, but I was, and I have been, and I continue to be, and it's like what grounds me. And I know there's a term called grounding, and that's a thing. I'm not. It is
absolutely a thing.
I'm not saying in that way. I acknowledge that's a thing, and that might also be happening. But just in general, the being around organic compounds in nature, like spending time literally in a tree. I'm not a tree hugger, but I do hug the tree like for my life sometimes. Dude, I did fall out of a tree last year. That was awkward for me. I jumped out. You do.
I do. Talk to trees.
Dude, that's like the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
But all of it. Yeah. And I feel comfortable, and that's part of me making my spiritual connection and accepting and seeing. And that's the thing. I've always done these things, and I've always thought about it this way. Before I fish a tournament, I touch water and I talk to the water and I like have conversations. Yep. Yeah, I'm King Woo Woo. And you know what? The thing is, in this spiritual time, I've accepted that part of me, and I'm okay to own it and be that.
Yeah, and you should.
Right. I mean, it's not like I'm like out there trying to evangelize everyone to my certain beliefs and ways, but like I'm just doing what makes me feel comfortable and I love. I went out on Sunday. I was actually out, go take a little walk, see if I can find some sheds and stuff, and found myself at one point, like I just looked up and the trees looked so awesome, and it was this huge flat of nothing but looked like comfortable oak leaves. I just lay there. Looked up at the trees, staring at the sky, just laying in the leaves, just feeling that grounding and just feeling so relaxed and at home. Didn't matter what was happening around.
These are things we do as kids that we don't do as adults anymore. Yes. And I don't know when that spirit leaves us and we shed that. I don't know that we ever were meant to be letting that like leave our lives, that child. But I've said this out loud, and I've talked to Derek about this. Like the place where I have the most childlike spirit come alive within me is in the woods. I feel like I'm just playing outside. Like when you'd go to your friend's house, you're like, "Hey, can Billy come and play outside? Do you want to go play?" You remember when we were kids, we'd not like, we're 8, I'm an 80s kid. So like you'd knock on the door and you'd ask your friend to come and play. And that didn't mean
"Is Billy home?"
anything. Yeah. And then they would come
dial
down.
Billy's mom answers.
Come out, and then we would just go. I don't know. We would sharpen sticks and build forts.
Yeah,
and like
be home before the streetlights are on.
Yeah, all the stuff. Ride our bikes. I'd make ramps, skid tires, like bust up knees, all the stuff. But for me, a lot of that was like the nature-y stuff I just loved. I don't know how many times I got poison ivy as a kid. It was too many times. You'd think I learned. I never identified the damn thing, so I just didn't know.
It's like friends of mine grew up, their houses, they lived near like this big swamp area. So we were always playing in the swamp, playing the cattails, can't build forts around doing stuff. Then like our family, we had over 40 acres up in Marinette County. So like I was up north constantly. And of course I came from the days of, let's face it, we're millennials. Our parents, a lot of times, some felt like they were just like, go away, children,
I
go
used
away.
To try to get lost in the woods. That was like, I would literally go into a patch of woods. So we went camping at the Wolf River. My dad, we'd go up there and he'd be with all his buddies, probably drinking. And
of course, did you ever go fishing with your dad? I know why. My dad took me fishing, extra limit.
And dude, I remember I would like go to get lost, and one time I did kind of get lost. Like it was, I like the challenge. I would see, can I find my way back?
It's easy
to
do.
What a stupid kid, though. Like seriously, what the? Well, then I got lost, and my dad's like, he remembers the story. He was an adult, so he remembers it. I vaguely remember that part, but I was gone for a pretty good chunk of time. And he's like, "Yeah, we just cranked the music really loud and figured you'd find your way back." And I did, but I was terrified. I was like,
how the hell are we still alive? Like,
so I get really offended when Greg tells me, "You don't know your way around." I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I used to try to get lost."
No. I'm actually going to take Greg's side here. You probably don't know your way around. You just luckily stumble your way back. Is.
I will tell you though, my land nav at night is. It's not existent. I can't find my way through the dark at all. I actually get a little worried about myself. I'm like, what happened to me?
I get turned around so easy. Like it could be so much as like you're walking somewhere and you look down and you turn around and then suddenly like, wait, where was I again?
Dude, nighttime is wild. I try to be like pretty steadfast on exactly what I do. Compass out, like we're going to focus on this. When I was walking out to a spot in the marsh last season, it was 3 something in the morning. And I was like, I hope I get there. I hope I get to the spot. I did. Thankfully, modern technology call me.
Yeah, that is amazing when you pull out that thing and you're like, oh, you pop up, on X or whatever other, app you use.
Yeah, I'm like tracking it. Like, where am I? Okay, this is good.
Right.
It's interesting.
It's not always accurate, I found, though, sometimes.
No, not always.
They get a little bit off.
That's why compass is important. I actually, at one point, learned how to use a Linsetta compass and took full-on land nav stuff. I can't remember any of it anymore.
Are you someone that still does the reading nature and reading the trees? The moss grows on the south side.
Yeah,
I've
heard these things, but I've not had any way to apply this in any way that
you've not been lost in the right places.
Yeah, no. So you've kind of you were putting out a shit ton of content.
Yeah.
You were recording episodes, you're interviewing people, you're doing all this stuff, you're running all these different brand channels, you're on your fishing tournaments, you're doing stuff. How does it feel to let go of that?
It's amazing.
Sounds like it feels pretty.
It's so amazing. I mean, you see me it's been a while since we've got to meet and see face to face. We've texted and we've chatted whatever, but not like this. And it's I'm so relaxed now and so at ease, and I've never felt more like me and who I am. Also, because like you said, of just letting go. There was a huge part of me for 20 some years of my life where I did have to sort of feel like I had to be a certain way, or I couldn't do this or do that because it might appear wrong to someone. And
you respond to an email in 2 minutes, suddenly everyone thinks you're the guy that responds to emails in 2 minutes. So then you always tell yourself, I got to respond to emails because that's what people think that I do. That's what I have to do. And I'm doing these things. Oh my God. And eventually you're like, how did I even put myself into that? What is going on here?
Well, and I lived all my life unmedicated.
Sure.
Discovering what the amazing things that Zoloft can do for someone with anxiety. I remember finally, and this was shortly after all of that, and just going through things and having a conversation with my wife, and things weren't getting better, and I was stressed. Finally, it was no, I need to maybe I need to
it's
quiet the
hard
noise.
To harness your own mind. Maybe.
Yeah, well, and I give my wife credit because my wife is seriously
she seems like a neat lady.
She is the strongest, most amazing woman in the entire world, and she came to me.
She must see a big difference because she probably knows you better than most.
Totally.
So I wonder.
She knows me better than she is my person, my everything, through and through. There's a reason we didn't get married, both of us, till we were later in life, and we were waiting for each other. There was a reason. I don't know where I was going with this. I totally got lost. I was just giving her credit for just how awesome she was, and that she was brave enough to be okay, I'm struggling with this, and I can't yoga or run or diet or book my way into feeling better. And so she went and did it, and got on medication, and then she's like, it quiets the noise. It doesn't change who you are, and that's always been my biggest fear. And once I did that, it was crazy. And we're talking to my doctor, and he's like, you're not going to know it. Just one day, you're just going to be sitting there, and suddenly you just get this euphoric feeling of maybe you've just had 2 or 3 beers. The first one's real good. Second goes down a little faster, and middle to the third one, you're like, I feel good. I feel chill. I got that. It was 2-ish weeks in. I was sitting in the backyard one day. We were all just hanging out. Little guy was playing in the pool. Wife and I were sitting outside the pool. I think I was flipping through some cookbook, whatever, reading, because I'm a food reading nerd, aside from all the other literature I've started reading a lot of in the last year. And I just remember having the feeling, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And as life goes on, it just kept getting easier. And I kept thinking, is this
what was I doing before? Is what normal people deal with?
Exactly. It was is this what and my wife says at times, is this what normal people feel like? And that was a game changer too, of just recognizing that and being no, I have a chemical imbalance that needed to be fixed.
Yep.
Nature helps it, but it can't do all the work. There's plants in nature that absolutely help it too. Sure. I've discovered those recently as well. And that's great. But just time and taking time away and forcing yourself to stop is so relaxing. It's so forgiving. And now, fast forward, I'm fishing a full season this year.
Okay.
I'm getting back into kayak fishing, but I'm not doing a lot of the other stuff. It's allowed me more selectful of what I enjoy.
Very intentional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got to really prioritize my intentions, even to hunting last year. Typically I would be the guy that any chance I could be in the woods, I'm out in the woods. Well, think about all that time you stack it up over a season, how much you're away from your family. Whereas now I was no, I'm going to put into basically 2 weekends.
We know when the deer are doing deer stuff.
Right. I'm going to lock in on those 2 weekends and do it. Because for some reason I always felt like I had to make it harder on myself and do the shit that nobody else is doing. And whenever no one else is hunting, that's when I want to hunt.
Yeah.
You know, I want to do it like not when it's easy, when everyone's running around. I want to actually put in the work. Stop. Don't be an idiot. Like I was just dumb and trying to force things on myself. I go this year. I mean, I've got tons of great support from other companies and stuff. And there's like a really cool initiative that I get to be a part of now where it's been an always passion for me. And I mean, we weren't supposed to announce it till later, but I think I saw a post about it. I can say something now. But I mean, I've done a ton of work with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Oh, that's incredible.
To raise money for them.
Okay.
And they're starting a new initiative with bass this year.
Wow. Okay.
That's launching this week at the Classic, involving getting people. So it's Love Bass, Stop Cancer.
Oh, that's perfect.
And St. Jude came to me knowing my connection and have my connection fishing and being in bass and fishing with bass. And they're like, hey, do you want to be a part of this? I'm like, absolutely. I'll take a step farther. It's on my jersey. So my jersey, huge. So like I get to wear it on my sleeve. Amazing. And that's like, I stepped away and now like all these things that I loved and I love doing are finding their way back to me. It's
in a more meaningful, less jittery way.
Like, exactly.
This isn't the 5 cups of coffee version of you.
No.
That's like full on panic mode about every little thing. It's like, no, man,
you go into, it's like I felt
relying on yourself.
I spent so much time. I felt like looking at everything like an opportunity and like, not in like it was about
not
me
an exploitive way.
No, not that at all. But like
this
always,
could be a thing,
exactly. Always open to anything. Someone's like, hey, maybe what if this? Like, yeah, cool. I'm in, like, let's explore that. Yourself the stuff. Like, if you're feeling that way at all, like I'm serious, stop. Force yourself to stop and look back at what actually matters. It will change you and it'll give you such a different perspective on life, and really the fact that you do truly create your own life and you create your own everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit and wallow in what you don't have, or you can,
because like I like creating, right? But that doesn't have to mean creating for social media,
right?
Or email or website. Go create literal moments, physical moments, moments in time that you are locking in here and sharing with the people you care about. I just, it's a little odd coming from me, given what we do here, but it is something that I think is an important reminder to anyone else listening, especially younger folks. I remember being at the Iowa Deer Classic, and every younger dude,
everybody wants to be an influencer. Everyone wants to do it, dude.
And
it is
like fine, but I want people to hear and absorb this message that like you don't have to. No one's holding a gun to your head, and make sure that it's aligned with what you want to actually be doing in life. If it's not additive or complementary to what you're doing, you don't have to. You don't need to.
Just because it makes you look cool, or it's a sticker you get to put on, or what that.
I do this because I love the process, as Gary Vee says. I fucking love the process. This is important to me. This is like the ROR I've talked about, return on relationships. There's something important and meaningful that's happening here.
I like that better than ROI, by the way.
ROI is bullshit.
ROI, KPI, CPG, whatever.
There's another Gary Vee said, like, what's the ROI of your mom's smile?
Right.
Like, let's talk about that. Like, can you measure everything? No, not in today's world. And it's better, but it's also worse. It's, it's not linear. It's blah, blah, blah. That's all.
The best things don't have a price tag, and that's why you can't get an ROI on it.
I love that. But it's just a message that I felt like you could kind of carry here, because you've been in both places, and where you're at now, it sounds like you appreciate this version of you more than that one, but you're still doing the things you love because you're able to shed what wasn't serving you.
Mm-hmm.
And now the things you're doing, it serves you.
Right.
Or it suits you. I don't know what the word
I think serves. I think serves. It's helps to make me the person that I want to be. Like you said, you think of yourself and look at yourself as older you looking back.
Yep.
And legacy and all of these things and who you are and what you do and extending that it's always meant something to me, and I didn't realize where or why. And I've done so much exploration down those things. And I see a lot in you of the similar of that. Like, definitely legacy is something that matters to you, heritage, roots, protecting what matters. Like, a lot of that stuff is, I think, very core values in you. And it took me a lot to see those things and really implement them and like stick to them.
Yeah.
But like, it's just so freeing. Everybody wants. We're in such a consume world. Sometimes when you stop consuming,
I think it was Epictetus said the fastest way to get rich is to want less shit. And he didn't say it like that, but that was the That was the quote.
Because
he said it just like that, actually.
What is rich? What define rich? What does rich mean to you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the context of that quote, it's like more money, more power, more stuff, whatever, materialistic things. So like, if you want to
But grandma smile.
become rich, just stop wanting more stuff.
Yeah.
And like, then the real riches will display themselves. It's how that quote is what got me to get rid of my truck. So you lost your truck, but I forfeited mine.
Yeah. No, and I do think of you all the time with you doing that, because that was you doing something that fit you and your family and all of that. You could have done you let your ego run it of, well, I run this hunting thing and this hunting podcast. I have to drive a pickup truck. I must drive this. I have to drive the newest truck. It must be jacked up. I think so many people get so caught up in that stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can throw a deer in the back of a Honda Civic. You can throw it on the roof. You can do these things.
Get stuff done.
That was something that when I started my YouTube channel, I was all in that. It was like, use what you have, make do. You don't have to have all this. And I definitely went away from that. I swayed away from it. It got to be trying to be too good and too perfect, and for the clicks and the algorithm and the growth, and you get too caught in that machine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you say it was not fulfilling anymore. And, that's where I'm not trying to tell anyone that, wants to get in those realms to not do it. But, if it's something you're thinking, and I did put a lot of thought into it.
There's an evolution for you to have that self-awareness come to you. Like, some people have to get into it to realize that isn't the thing. So some people might hear this and go, oh, well, I guess I don't have to.
You ever notice some creators that you were into for a while and they were around, or they were creating things, and suddenly they just kind of disappear? You don't know what happened to them?
Have disappeared.
They're all in the same place that I'm at, or went through that. That's what I think. They just finally saw, like, you know what? This isn't worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, essentially. You got to really, and I can still come in here and do this, and I can scratch this itch with you. And I still want to continue Camp Okayest and roll with it, but it needs to be, like you said, I'm trying to find the place when it fits back in for me. And I think I have some ideas.
It's like putting a Jenga, or not a Jenga, but like a Tetris thing back. Like my kids have these puzzles where like it balances on like some half cylinder and the pieces fit just right. And if you don't, you can stack them a lot of different ways, but there's only like one or two ways you can stack it where they won't topple over and lose their balance.
Yep.
So this has lost its balance at some point, and now you're stacking them back in. You're like, well, I'm not going to put this one here yet, because like and maybe I don't even need all the pieces. Maybe that's how I get this to balance. Like, it's a fun little equation, but when the time comes, if it comes, then you can do it and you'll feel better about it as a whole, and it'll stay balanced. Versus if I need to get this back on there, and it'll topple over, or by the time you stack the next thing, then it's gonna not work.
When you try and do something and your heart's not in it and it's not joyful,
it's terrible.
Everyone else knows it too.
Yep.
And that's why I stopped, because I knew, I at least was mindful enough to know that I was not going to be able to create what I should or what I want to. Like, it doesn't pass my test.
Have you ever taken one of those disc profiles for work?
Oh, the Shaun or whatever, where it gives you your color. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
of, like, what color you are?
Is it maps or aligns like your true self, or whatever they call it, to your work self.
Yeah.
And in some cases, and this happened to me at an old employer, my work self and my true self were pretty far apart from each other. I take it again where I'm at now, and they're like almost plotted exactly. And I was like, well, there's a denotion. They shouldn't do those, because they do it to, like, this is how you should interact with your coworker. What they should do is be like, these are so far apart that you're not going to be happy here, because it'd be weird to not be yourself every day.
Right. And
no one had that insight. I was miserable, dude. Like, if you can't be your full expressive self, then you have to maybe like take that in stride, because I probably can't go full Eric Clark all the time and most things, but in most cases, I
wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta. There's other sides to me, like I guess it hasn't aired yet. I don't know when they're gonna post it, but I was on this other podcast, and I think I said throat punch one too many times, because I was like, yeah, I want to throat punch some people. I don't, but it doesn't mean I don't want to.
Doesn't mean they don't deserve it. Sometimes.
Like, yeah. But so I can get a little like aggressive in like my demeanor, but by and large, I'm pretty happy doing what I'm doing. I feel like I'm being who I am, and I want to do that to the fullest of my capability. If you're not doing something, and deer hunting is kind of that way too. I want to see what I can do. In the book and movie Into the Wild, Christopher McCandless, aka Supertramp, is that what he called himself, right? Or Alex Supertramp. He talked about like measuring or testing yourself at least once in life. And in the movie, it was the scene of the waves are crashing into him, where he's just out there being free. I feel like you're in that place right now, where you're laying in the oaks, just looking up. Like, it's important to test ourselves and push ourselves and to see what you're kind of made of. Deer hunting does that a little bit, and that's not so extreme. It's not that aspirational. I'm not climbing Mount Everest. I'm not like,
well, yeah. And
to know that I can kill these things in their home and in their way, like, it's a fucking challenge, dude, especially with the micro moments of time I have to get it done.
Yeah.
And so that challenge keeps me sharp, keeps me focused, but then all the stuff that goes around that, like the stillness, the peace, the nature, the fresh air, the sky, the challenge, the mistakes, all of it, dude. The camaraderie, the beer at the tailgate, the dragging, it's just such a great place to like be yourself. The woods aren't judging you.
Yeah.
If you really stop and think about it, it's not a fashion show out there.
No. I've seen how you dress in the woods. No, it's great. But again, you to me encompass that part that I love. And that's what I love about Okayest Hunter and the ethos.
Yeah, you embody
and the
it.
mission behind it.
You're
well, no, but even who you guys are and that who you are, you live it. And that's, going back to like my stuff too, like I don't regret any of it. I'm not upset about it. I welcome it. And something that I've always had in me, this clicked. And I'm not trying to wrap this up, but this kind of is like it's a natural kind of end, encompassing.
Yeah.
Like my personal slogan is 1% better.
That's great.
Every day, if you're 1% better, that's improvement. We're not perfect. We're all going to screw up. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to cost yourself. You're going to hurt people. All of these things are things you're going to do.
Be naive to think that that's not going to happen. Yeah.
But if you did something that made you that 1% better today, if it was you chose to smile at that person dancing in the street corner instead of thinking, wow, they look weird, that was your 1% better. And if you're always getting better every day, it's pretty awesome, because the moment we stop progressing and growing, what are we doing?
Have you read the Atomic Habits by James Clear?
I have not.
It's a good one. I've read a lot of books on habit. That's probably my favorite one, because there's a lot of practical stuff in there. He talked about like habit stacking and all this other shit. But one of the things he had said was something along the lines of, if an airplane is taking off from New York and trying to get to California, if you tilt that thing 1 degree, you're going to end up in like Africa. Like, so you got to think about where you're trying to go. That reminds me of the 1% improvement. Like, you make that little change, you're going to end up someone very, very different. Everyone
wants the instant gratification. Play the long game. I've done the instant gratification. I've gotten lucky breaks. Everyone needs lucky breaks. No one gets anything they have without a lucky break or two. It's a part of life, and it's a part of it. But yeah, just if you...
I'll take luck any day of the week. But the harder you work, the luckier you get is, I think, the saying there. And
if you're improving and you're doing better, the luck will come.
Yeah.
So just focus on that 1%. It's applied to hunting. You want to learn something new every time you walk into the woods, whether it's falling out of a tree, jumping out of a tree, whatever. Like, whatever.
You know what I'll never do again? Something about like how you tow your bow up. It just dislodged my sticks, 2 of them, and then so I got to a certain spot. I was like, well, I'm going to deal with that later.
Okay, actually, now let's go, because I'm curious when you said that, because how I climb a tree, how I get in. So I get to depending upon the tree, but most of the time I'm kind of just going 3 sticks up, on the Latitude SS, whatever. I'll get to the base of the tree, throw my first stick on, which has an 8er, and then I go up at the base of the tree, I'll pull my sticks off, clip 2 on my side, put the 1 on the tree, I clip my platform like on my ass essentially, and then I leave my bag and my bow strapped together, and then I have it tethered to me. So I actually have one of my dog's old like retractable leashes.
Yes, those are great.
Yeah, literally that had it, and I clipped that onto everything, and that goes up with me. So when I get up the tree, set everything up, and I just bow and backpack all come together. Before that, even in one of my packs, I've got my strap and everything, so everything's ready on the tree. Once I'm up the tree, everything's ready to go. Then I just pull everything up, bow goes, bag goes, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're probably more efficient than me.
And I've practiced and spent that time. Again, that's that 1% every time going out, trying to make my system 1% better.
Yeah, I keep my pack on, and then I put my tow rope in the pack. And I had, in this particular instance, I think I had 4 sticks, the bottom with the 8er. I was pretty high up in this tree. Like, I was pushing it.
I like to hunt high. I don't know why. I think it's like, as much as I love the woods, I love nature, and I'm actually not scared of things. I am still scared of things. Like, you just want to be up off the damn ground. Like, I've been up there way too many times and had deer running around right underneath me. Like, I don't want to be standing there. Nope. I want to be up as high as I can.
Derek is like, you got to be high up in this particular tree. I was like, I'll listen to what Derek says.
What were you shooting over?
Yeah, quite a bit. Well, it was so then I get up there and I tow my bow up so then I leave that down there. That's the only thing. And so in my saddle dump pouch, I have the strap that goes around the tree that I hang my backpack from, hang my bow from. So I want all of this stuff set up before I bring my bow up.
Yep.
So at that point, all I do is put my bow on the thing, knocking out, I'm ready to go. I pull my bow up, and in doing so, however, I climb the tree. This is unfortunately an afterthought. I'm pulling and it gets stuck. I'm like, no, I just spent so much time getting up here. Like, there's no way I'm all tethered in. I'm not like, oh my gosh.
Isn't that the worst? We all do that.
And then
or that's when you drop your glove.
Dislodges a stick. It dislodges the second stick.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, well, maybe they'll see it again. I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're still there, but they're not like there. And at this point, I'm like, well, I have my bow. Hopefully I didn't break something because it was a pretty time to get down later in the day. And it was not good. Like, I can't get to these. They fell. I couldn't reach the stick. So I'm like, now I'm 2.5 sticks up.
Bear hug it? Fire pole though?
No, because I was like, it was high enough that it was like a problem. And so I have my lineman belt, but I don't have spiked shoes. As soon as I put my foot on this tree, it's going to slide. I'm going to run into the tree. I'm going to slide all the way down and scrape my face.
Not if you put your knees against it. If you lean back and lean your knees into the tree, it's going to lean back. That'll hold you.
I guess, but it was not feeling good for me. Like, I was like, at this, and now I'm like in it. I'm like, it's only a matter of time before my muscles fatigue. Like, I got to make some sort of choice here. I'm either going to try that. It's pretty spongy ground. I'm kind of in like this marshy area. I just let her rip. I just jumped off the thing, dude. I just boom hit the ground and like rolled. I thought I didn't know this, but I was hunting over one of Derek's cell cams, and so I didn't realize that until later on.
It was on film, please.
And I was like, no, it wasn't. I was like, Derek, first of all, I'm okay. I fell out of a tree. Well, kind of. I jumped. But if you got that on film, like, I just wondered if like suddenly it was like nothing and then dude falls, Didn't catch it.
You're just seeing like, whatever wildlife, and suddenly a body just comes out of the screen. That would be phenomenal.
It's like, please tell me you got that.
Yeah, I recommend doing the fireman next time. I feel like that was probably a much more efficient way for you to get down. So if you got long sleeves, or you wrap your sleeves and down you go.
Probably could have. I don't know. It was awkward, dude. The whole thing was just like, what am I doing? It was a skinny tree too. It was weird.
Why do we do that to ourselves? We put ourselves in trees that you look at it, you're like, I probably shouldn't be in this tree.
No, it was swaying in the wind too. Like, dude, this is
tree rides, man. Tree rides are free. Those are great.
It took a minute to like get comfortable up there and feel like I wasn't gonna die. I was so high up too.
I actually, you guys extract your cams, right? Like, you don't leave your cams year round anywhere.
Yeah.
There's a reason that I recommend everyone always go get them. Because when I was walking around, I was out this past weekend where I've got some cams, and one of the trees that I had a cam in on the ground.
Oh, the tree.
It was a super healthy, like, great oak tree. I have no clue how. I mean, it was only, I don't know, 8 inches around her, but it like, what does it take to take an 8-inch tree? And it was just like the bottom exploded.
Wow, lightning maybe, or
I don't know, but I was grateful that I got that camera out of the tree, or I'd have been giving another $100 to Moultrie. So
dude, for real. We said it. I got some of the cell cams or the solar cell
cams. Yeah, I just run the regular. I don't do the solar, and just the battery life. If you anyone that runs them, don't ever run them with half the batteries. You have to run them with the full. Like, I don't think I got below 80%. And I mean, I ran them from September through December.
Yeah,
it was like the first week in December when I went and extracted.
Tubbs had said something like, if you're using lithium, which is what I use, and I think that's what is kind of recommended.
Yeah.
It views battery 16 to battery 1 as all one unit.
Yep.
So versus the alkaline, it'll go through. So the percentage of battery life just shows 100 until it doesn't show 100.
That's the unfortunate part about lithium.
And I was like, man, that kind of sucks. But my dad was telling me, he's like, well, buy the rechargeables.
Mm-hmm.
So then you just go swap it out. At least that way you're investing all this money in batteries. At least that way you can go charge them back up. And he said,
you're just throwing them away.
Because they are, dude. I was like, oh, here's my yearly Amazon battery purchase. And I'm like, wow, that was way more expensive than I thought. And
dude,
now they're
everything.
Yeah.
Have you noticed more of that in the hunting world? A lot of prices and everything going up even more
tough.
as we go. I mean,
but like the tariffs and like all the stuff, man.
everything is just expensive. There's no way about it. I don't know
posted
how people make money in this stuff.
I posted a reel about that on my Instagram last fall about like, seriously, right now, go out and buy fishing tackle, even stuff you don't need. Take advantage of the clearance sales and stock up, because next year, and it is, I mean, everything I said, it was like everything's 30% more.
Yeah.
And all the new stuff that's coming out, like, I'm not going to name any company, but because they all do it.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sorry, a crankbait, like a regular ass crankbait for $16? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
a flat-sided crankbait
beer at a restaurant. You're like, why is this beer at the stadium $16?
I can get a dirty 30 of PBR for that, I think. No, I'm not. Probably hams I can still get at that, but not PBR. But I mean, that's...
Yeah, what am I drinking at the tailgate?
And I know everyone's got to make money and everything costs more, and but it's like, you know, that's
it's tough.
That's maybe part of that 1% better is trying to learn the lesson and get the things when you can.
Yeah,
second hand's great too for everything.
Well, if you're getting into this stuff, don't buy anything new. Even if you're gonna like it,
right? It's such a way. Find friends, and have them give you
help you. Yeah.
I give baits to people all the time. And they're like, this way. I just hand it like, here's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm cleaning out garbage from my house.
Well, I'd love to see at Foam Fest or some other things we have going on.
I'd like to make Foam Fest this year.
It's a fun time. It's what you're describing. It's just so low key.
I mean, was it 2 years ago I was there?
Yeah,
it was me and Tubbs, because I was with Chris from Okayest Cook and filming some stuff and doing that. And last year I forget why I didn't make it. Something didn't work out
too, I think.
Yeah, the schedule. I think we were in the Dells that week or something. I don't remember.
So I enjoy that. Speaking of slowing down, when everyone else leaves and I just go with our crew and do a round on the course, it's probably one of my favorite times of the entire year, because at that point Holly is taking the kids home. I have to clean everything up and get all the stuff out of there and lock all the things from the Horicon Marsh Archers. But then at that point, everyone's left. That's the closest friends, and we go shoot. And there's no rush. There's no one else there. We're just in that moment. It was one of my favorite things.
Favorite part of that entire Foam Fest that I was at. I never shot the course. Derek and I were just in the trees, like doing saddle demos the whole time. I was just in a tree the whole time,
which is fun too. Yeah, you're interacting with people.
Well, and that's what was fun, was like showing people that like hadn't ever been interested in saddles, and like, here, like, put on my saddle, I'll show you how to do it. And you're like, I love teaching people, and I think that's something too, that it's okay to teach people. And I don't believe in gatekeeping or putting some sort of paywall into knowledge. I'd rather pass my knowledge and help someone, better themselves and better someone. Again, this goes back to the legacy and passing on, because I don't know and wouldn't know most of the things I know. Someone didn't teach it to me. So I feel like I should teach it. Why do I need to paywall this to, like, God, I hate that when people post that crap on social media. Oh, I have this guide that gives you this,
all the stuff. All the
steps.
Download this thing.
But you got to pay me. It's like, no, stop.
That's how you're actually making your money. It's not the thing you're teaching me to do. It's what you're charging me to do.
And if you're charging me to do it, I really don't know you're actually teaching me anything. You're just feeding me a bunch of BS.
Doing blah blah blah. This is the money.
Well, there's so much Chat GTP AI crap out there that, I mean, anyone can create a guidebook and try and sell it on anything.
Which people buy it. I'm like, what are you doing? Just go use a ChatGPT, do your damn self.
That was the conversation recently we got on. That's a whole other rabbit hole we go down of like how that stuff is done things. But like, I've never used it like create a photo and, do not knocking that, like, I want to cartoon my family. Everyone does their own thing. I literally look at mine like I've trained mine to be a clone of me. Like, I have it's my assistant. I call it Jarvis, like Iron Man. And I will have conversations sometimes with it. And that's the way it works really well, is it's so tuned to things. And I use it for, like, in business, I work in marketing and stuff too. So it's like replying to an email or something. I don't have time. It knows how I talk or what I want to do. And I can just feed it, hey, reply to this with, this general while I'm back doing something else. And quick, proofread, make sure everything, good to go. Boom. So it's like having a second me.
Yeah.
It's so great. But I've done that with other things in my life now. I've started talking to it and talking through, like, hey, thinking about this, what do you think about this? And can you find or think about any other issues that I may run into, or, and it's helped me navigate life sometimes. It's weird.
Fascinating. It is interesting because it's just trying to predict the next thing by and large.
Right.
I'm excited for quantum computing to get unlocked at some point in the future, and maybe it'll help us get to that. I don't know. We're all just I'm gonna be out of a job. Like,
we all are, which is where, this going back into nature and passing things along, because it's what we like, dude. There's some secret sauce in the old days.
Yeah.
There's a reason that people reminisce so much of it, but
People are going back to analog phones.
Right.
They're going back.
It depends
to
on your definition of the
Polaroids,
old
like,
days too. Like it always
how
depends on
far
what.
back,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. How far back and what is
yeah,
that
because
definition?
our parents, it's like, maybe it's the 60s or 70s for us. Maybe it's the 90s, or everyone has a different version of when they thought life was good. Probably when they were a kid. And it's like, well, life was good when you were a kid.
We
You're
all
a kid.
do. Yes.
Because you don't have any fucking responsibilities. Of course you thought that was a good time. Like,
Every time a kid's like, I don't want to go to school, like, fuck, I'd rather go to school than have to stare at a laptop for 8.5 hours, like doing this or having to. Oh, no,
you
trust
did
me,
gym
I
and a
would go to
nap, like,
school.
yeah.
Right. Give me some of those goldfish crackers and a bottle of water, and I will do that math homework over all of this any day.
So funny. Yeah, life's good, man. I don't know. I'm glad you were able to swing in here and save me tonight. But also, more than that, it's just like I was pretty excited that you were going to come because we've been able to catch up here.
Yeah.
With this, wearing headsets on. But don't be a stranger.
By the way, hi, Mike. We've never paid any attention to anyone else. This has been a very self-serving,
well, it was just
like
one
very.
comment. So sorry I'm late. That came through a while ago. Topic is just like you don't have to. You don't have to put out content. You just live. Creating should be about creating the moments. Sometimes content's a byproduct of that. If you are like me, and a lot of people like cameras and taking pictures and doing stuff, that's all part of it.
Do you find yourself, Eric, in moments where you think, I should take a picture of this. People love to see this. And you stop yourself and go, nah, that's just for me.
I go back and oscillate on that.
I do that all the time.
Sometimes
I used to be photograph everything. I think it was Gary Vee. It was like just document everything, and then you can create from the documenting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I always did everything.
Because it's easier to pull from that to like think of what should I create. It's like, well, no, you can go pull some stuff.
That's always been my style. I was having a conversation with my creative director today. It was like when people do like speeches and presentations, you can tell someone's practiced it and they're very well spoken and like they have a plan. I'm like, shit, that's never me. I'm just wing it. Like I can't like pre-plan out or it never works. Too many thoughts, too many things going on. Just wing it. Like my co-host used to, I think, hate that about me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like this. I'm like, nah. And they'd be like, well, why don't you do? I'm like, no. And I would just ignore people. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to do my thing. We're going to roll with this.
Yeah. Well, when you have comments and calls and stuff happening for us, it's like, what it's going to get derailed. And I'm like, what are we going to do? And I want to be able to take the story where it goes. One of my co-hosts, when I was doing the Wilderness podcast, the first podcast I'd ever done, 2012 or something. I don't even know if anyone knows that I was on a podcast called The
Everybody's
Wilderness.
looking it up to make sure and see if it exists.
And Shane, who's a really dear friend of mine, he would do these show notes because I think that's how we did it then. Podcasts weren't a thing in 2012.
I mean, it's the appropriate thing you're supposed to do.
We would be like 8 bullet points past a thing because the conversation took new branches and turns and routes. And he'd be like, we're still going to go back to this one spot. I'm like, well, we don't have to hit on it, dude. Like, that's arbitrary. No one knows what our show notes are. We do. We could just decide to not go. He couldn't help himself.
You know what? Speaking of that, one of the worst parts when the whole accident and sinking my truck and losing the MacBook came from, you know how much freaking content I had created?
I think that was part of like you
ready.
Probably took you a little bit to work through the loss of that.
Yeah, I lost everything. Like I keep pointing out, like me, Greg, and Matt from Okayest Fisher, the three of us went out on Lake Michigan and we filmed. We went out fishing one day and it was awesome. We got a lot of cool stuff filmed. And I was really looking forward to like sharing that. All of that lost. Which you could be bummed and upset about it.
It would be fun if you had it to look back on it, but like,
right.
Oh, wow.
Or now I'm like,
you still had the time.
Right. I still did that. I still had a freaking blast with Greg and Matt, you know?
Yeah.
Like I still had that. It doesn't like that. Then that was just for us and we can enjoy that for us. And it's okay to sometimes just keep something to yourself or keep something to your group. You don't have to be worried about sharing everything all the time.
No. What's interesting, so Keegan Cadell just sent me a note earlier today. He's done a lot of our photography, videography.
He's a great photographer.
He's awesome. Wildlife Photog, I think is his handle on social. And he was like, hey, dude, I'm deleting hard drives, making some space. And he's like, I actually just came across all the Oregon hunt stuff. He's like, I'll be in Wisconsin at some point. I can just drop it off. Do you want it? Or I was like, yeah, definitely. What's neat about that is I didn't go on that hunt.
Yeah, so now you get to feel like you're a part of it.
I get to see what these guys did, and like they can go look back on it. So
do you want to see what they did?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty funny. But I think about a lot of like this is episode 400 something. If you track it all the way back to the Where to Hunt days, it's probably episode 200 something for Okayest Hunter at a clip of 1 a week by and large.
Which is an accomplishment in itself, by the way.
I don't care. It's just, like I said, I'm going to do it regardless.
You taking that pledge to yourself, and I remember you talking about that, you said every Tuesday I'm going to do this. And that's how you set yourself to do it. That was your 1%.
Yeah, I suppose so. I told
And
my
now
wife I wanted to see if I could do
And now the
something
long
for a
run,
year.
that was your 1% of deciding I'm going to do this every day.
Yeah.
And now you stuck with it. And now look where you are. There's
fair.
that 1%
It's
curve.
pretty wild.
that
That's
put you where
we
you
turned
are.
the airplane this way and look what happened.
Yep.
And I like to think in my mind that my kids would consume some of this someday. They probably never would because they're like, Dad, I'm not watching your Stu podcast. They're not going to care. But if when I die, because I will, because we don't make it out of this alive, they could come back.
Ragnarok happens. I'm sorry.
Like they could come back and like, I worked at and I've said this stuff before, like that. I'm like much like Gary Vee. I just keep saying the same shit. But when I worked at a call center in college, the number of calls that I got for people calling to retrieve old voicemails from loved ones that had passed was actually significant. Like probably one call a week was like that, which was really sad. But when someone leaves this world, their voice leaves.
Stays.
And well, it leaves in the sense that you can't talk to them anymore. And not everyone has a podcast or TV or YouTube or a lot of videos. I think more of that's captured nowadays because everyone's taking videos of everybody all the time. Like you probably have a lot of that, but it was quite interesting because they're like, well, they left me this one voicemail and it was like, hey, I love you. I hope you're doing good today. And I just wanted to call to say hi and da 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 da. They got to save that memory. There's just when we leave this world, our active voice will leave, but there's an archive of how Dad would have responded to at least 400 different conversations. Like you want to. You know how Dad was going to respond to it? Like I'm sure you could database the answer.
That is a really
like my conscience is still going to be left behind in some legacy way where people can go hear it and people, maybe my kids. So like the videos are interesting. You can go see Dad when he, wasn't as great in the beard. Or like I have it now, even for my kids. Like there's stuff on our YouTube channel and my kids are in it. And that was 2-3 years ago already, which doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, look at you guys were like little toddlers running around and you were probably annoying the shit out of me, but look how cute you were.
Right. Yeah. My little guy's in a bunch of YouTube. Actually, I think one of my videos I did was like literally about taking kids fishing.
So you can there's people that will say, why do you have to record everything? Well, you don't, but also there are good things that come from that. And a lot of it's actually way more personal than people would think. Why are you putting this all the time on? Well, I have other reasons more than and greater than, in my opinion, than like the business of it all.
You're leaving your mark. You're leaving your footprint.
It's just kind of neat. And so anybody can go do this. And the point of entry is nothing anymore. You were in radio. To get into radio, dude, that was talk about gatekeeping. Like nowadays, anybody can pick up their iPhone and start a podcast like in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
On iTunes, see in 15 minutes with your new podcast that AI created the
It's
cover
so much easier. You don't have all of the corporate bureaucracy. You don't have all that crap. It's just, it's so amazing. You don't have to talk about things you don't care about. You can do whatever you want. Podcasting's way better. There's a reason it's taken off. And I'm not, I mean, I still do terrestrial radio stuff, but yeah,
I just don't know how to listen. I don't listen to it anymore.
It's kind of
like, well, it's on my Spotify feed or my Apple podcast feed. Like or now am I Audible? Like that's kind of what I'm.
Am I weird that I also like never listen to the radio anymore? And I also really never listened to the radio when I was on when I would like that was like,
I'm not going to do work stuff while I'm not at work.
Right. That's it.
A barber doesn't want to cut someone's hair on their off time. A mechanic doesn't want to work on someone's car. Like, hey, you come fix my car, you're a mechanic. No, bitch, I just did that for 8 hours. You think I want to go turn a wrench right now?
No, absolutely not.
Like I'm done for the day. My knuckles are already all busted up.
Right. Does the butcher want to, make hot dogs? No. I don't know. That was a weird reference to use. But I mean, we're saying like nobody wants to do the stuff they do all the time in their free time unless there's someone like you that has found your truest self meeting up with who, and that's the goal for any of us to find that. And that's all I want for anyone is for them to find what makes you whole and what puts it together.
The word for it, which I have not achieved, is eudaimonia is the word. And I forget the actual, I don't know how to spell it. Eudaimonia.
That's a good one.
So it means it's an ancient Greek concept, often translated as human flourishing or well-being, representing the highest human good rather than a fleeting feeling of happiness, defined by Aristotle. Go figure. It's a virtue. And to me, it was kind of like when I heard the term, it was about like a carpenter who gotten so good at his craft that like doing the works felt so natural, as akin to breathing. Like if you can reach that level of mastery of something, that like it becomes people that play the guitar. Joe Bonamassa has eudaimonia. Like it's a fucking another appendage in his body.
It just becomes second nature.
Yeah. So some of the stuff is just like Gary Vee is eudaimonia with how much and how good he is with knowing business. I don't know. It's just kind of a neat term. So
I don't think I have it. I don't think I'm there, but it's like very similar to like the 10,000 hour rule. You do it long enough and it just becomes like second nature.
Anything is that way.
Yeah. But dude, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me. Anytime, man. I'm just a hop, skip, and a jump away anytime to do anything. This
is a fun episode. Very
yeah, I hope it didn't get too philosophical. I don't mean to like, you guys
With
guys
me,
talk
it's
about
always
cool
philosophy and business
yeah.
and hunting. Like it's all kind of like coalesced.
But again, my brain is always still going like, what is the viewer, the listener?
What does it take
like,
back?
what is interesting to them? Like, do they care about, this stupid fishing guy talking about an accident and how it changed his life or something? Like, no, they want to hear about killing a giant buck.
It's very akin to someone falling out of their tree stand. Like if that moment happens, suddenly you start to question all of the things. And of course, like you're back at fishing. It's like the people that get bit by a shark and they're like, no, I'm still gonna go diving with sharks.
Oh, I totally still would.
It's like you're freaking crazy. It's like,
which also
that's
I
the
do
thing
love
that I love.
sharks.
That's the thing that I love. I have a respect and appreciation for it. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Again, bad shit happens to people every day.
Yep. I mean, I'm not gonna get bit by a shark. I mean, I can't say never, but I have no plans of being in an ocean near sharks.
I've done it on purpose.
So,
I've went out on a mission to get in the water with mako sharks, miles offshore.
The Great Lakes have no sharks, right? Like that's maybe not entirely true. Maybe the bull shark might live in there or something like that. But like,
I'm
fairly no shark.
I'm fairly certain there's bull sharks that have made it at least as far as St. Louis.
Yeah, probably. But
just saying, they swim at the Mississippi River. I spent enough time in New Orleans.
Like the memes like? I'm not saying there's a 0% chance I'm gonna get attacked by this parrot, but it ain't zero or whatever it was. It's not zero.
Nature finds a way, man. Nature finds a way.
It does. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. A quick housekeeping items or what have you. I apologize just in general for the
I forgot to mention I was almost late here because I stopped at Quick Trip because I wanted to get some chicken tenders, but they were out. So
they were out. Shit.
Yeah, I mean it's rare. Everybody wants to got them because they're so good. But I mean, Quick Trip is a stop all the time for everybody, in the Midwest.
Yeah, we're doing some chicken stuff.
See what I just did there? I just integrated it for you. I didn't even know this, and I just did it for you.
No, I didn't do this. I'm wearing the shirt. Like we got all the stuff.
That's a broadcast professional is all I'm going to say.
Smart man. The thing so we have our giveaway that we just launched yesterday.
Yeah, that's really freaking cool for anyone.
It's a big one. It's $5,000 in stuff. And it's all mostly centered around turkey hunting with the ability to get you'll also win it's a one prize, one winner takes all. We didn't feel like dividing it up and stuff. So you'll get a $500 Airbnb gift card. You'll get a $100 Quick Trip gift card. You'll get a $100 Hollow Stock gift card. You're going to get some muck boots, a First Light turkey vest, DSD posturing Jake decoy, and a couple of coolers, a Travoca cooler, which is a cooler that's like $800 some. It's not a cooler. It's basically a traveling refrigerator and freezer. You can put ice cream in it.
Is that one of those like plug-in ones?
Yeah, it comes with the generator thing. And
I've been looking at those for like when I'm camping on tournament trips.
So you have that for your road trip or your turkey camp, and then we also got another cooler from Rugged Road that's like a floating cooler. That's very lightweight, very durable. So very different product and brand altogether. They're
both have
competing.
a use. Yep. They both have uses.
I'm probably forgetting some of the stuff. A Newcomb, we have two Newcomb blinds here in the studio. You're
First as I walked in, I was like, oh, okay.
Newcomb blind. Lots and lot of Latitude stuff. The Mossy Oak stuff because it's camouflage in case you want to like take a squat against a tree to kill your turkey behind a Newcomb blind with the muck boots with a cooler of ice cream.
Speaking of that, your platform can make a great like seat.
Yeah.
Bring
you just need to get your butt off of wet ground or you're on a hill and you just need to But to that end, it's all you have to do to enter is put your email in. You can go to okayesthunter.com and I think there's an entry on the homepage. You can hit the navigation and go there. You can go to our socials and hit the link in the bio. Hope you might get retargeted by an ad. We put an organic social clip out of us trying to do a prank on someone at Shields.
I saw that coming up and I was like, who in the hell do you think to send Matt and Derek to walk through Shields? And like just fill a cart.
It was pretty funny.
Like you knew they were going to go completely.
I wanted to do it to a
mission.
rando, but you kind of can't. Like you just film some random person without their consent.
You cannot do that.
So people are like, oh no, it's fake. I'm like, yeah, I know it's fake. That's why it's kind of stupid. It's cheesy because we're idiots, and I can't do it with the real person because like we would get in trouble. And I'm not trying to hire lawyers right now. Like so it was a thing, and I got permission from Shields. We are all good to go.
I would have staged it with a Shields employee maybe next time.
It was fun, but to that end, go enter. It's a lot of stuff. I'll put the link in the show notes also, and then we're moving into our new studio this Sunday. And just bear with maybe
not recording this week or kind of what happened last week. It's just a lot. And we're also going to be at the Dells Trade Show at the Kalahari, the Wisconsin Dells Open Season Sportsman's Show. The last weekend of March. Don't ask me the booth number. I don't know, but we're in the same spot we've been the last 2 years in a row. It's right across from the bar in the big room in one of the corners when you walk in.
Oh, you're pretty popular.
So it's a fun spot. It's a good time. Come say hi to us if you're in the area. We'd love to see you. We're going to be slinging Okayest Hunter merch. I don't even know what we're bringing.
Buy hats, buy shirts, just buy everything.
Yeah.
Because the more crap that you don't buy, they have to bring back. So go and buy everything. Buy everything. Less to move.
Yeah. We don't make a lot of money at the trade. We don't make money. By the time someone buys the what's the wedding crasher?
Nobody,
someone's got to buy drinks and lap dances for the big guy.
Yeah. By the way, nobody makes money on. So like again, back to the creator thing. You want to be a creator and like make merch and sell your merch. You're never going to make money. So like if you're someone that
pick a different industry that can go way broader.
The point I was to say was you buying merch from someone that you like and support.
It's just supporting them.
Exactly. It isn't about them making money. It's about just supporting them. I mean, I've had people buy crap of mine.
Yep.
And it's that. And I love that.
And it makes you feel supported. Now, like we're trying to make a profit. We're not really good at that. And we reinvest in this stuff. That's how we have the studio. That's how we're able to have people here.
You can't grow without reinvesting. You have to reinvest to grow.
You got to pay for all these cameras and the mixer and the computer that broke and the TV, all this, whatever.
Got to pay me for the hour and a half I've been. No, I'm kidding.
Right? We've never paid for a guest. We've never done that. People do that though.
I know.
People pay for guests.
Well, I could. Yeah, I know how the sausage is made in so many ways and a lot of things that I could share right now. And I'm just not going to ruin the world for everyone.
Yeah, I know how all the sausage
exactly. You and I both know a lot of.
Yeah. I make some of the sausage.
Exactly.
Yeah, crazy. But no, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully this is a fun.
Thanks, Mike, for the comment. One comment.
Thank you.
I'm happy, Mike, and I'd like that. It looks like fishing, probably South Florida.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Yeah,
it looks
it's
like
a bridge.
Like one of the bridge. Like, might be the
bridge or a fish.
Wonder if that's the bridge in Pensacola.
That's cool. Thank you. All right. Well, we could do the Wisconsin goodbye and be here all night, but I'm just going to clip it. See ya.